Got one on the giant bluegill swim bait, guys. Oh, it feels good. A side-by-side comparison here, guys. If you think that the baits you're throwing are too big, you are probably wrong. What the heck? Is this a catfish? Dude! In case I forget to say it, at some point, please do it like this video. Subscribe if you haven't. And it would be helpful if you could share this with a friend. Just helps out the channel. Got one on the tail spinner, guys. First fish of the day. Not sure what it is. Might be a crappie even. So anyway, welcome back to Fishing with Spiv, you guys. It's an early Sunday morning, doing some fishing before church. Looks like it is a little bass. Oh, and there he goes. This is the tail spinner I'm using. I started off the day throwing this buzz bait. Haven't been getting any action on it, and was marking fish deeper, kind of suspending in 10 feet of water out in 15 to 20 feet of water. So I was like, oh, another one already on the tail spinner. Ooh, lost it again though. Tell you what, I think I'm gonna keep throwing this for a little bit. So all I'm doing with this tail spinner, I'm just casting and reeling basically. There's a couple trees kind of floating in the water out ahead of me here. I'm kind of casting up towards those. I'm just giving it a slow, steady retrieve back from there. I have a strong suspicion that there's crappie suspending near those trees, and there's probably bass hanging out with them. Well, there's at least 2 bass hanging out there with them. I may or may not have the mental capacity to catch said bass, but that's the deal. Another one. 5 casts later. This one feels okay. It's about got to be hooked better because it's been pulling pretty hard on me and hasn't come off yet. Let's see what I got here. Not a gigantoid fish, but he's decent. Maybe 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, somewhere in that ballpark. This is that little tail spinner I've been throwing. I'm gonna get him back in there, keep going. tiny fish on the buzzbait here, guys. I didn't even hear it or notice it strike. It just got a little bit heavy. Emphasis on a little bit. But that is my first fish of the year actually on the buzzbait. I haven't thrown it before today. So there you have it. I'm just casting this thing out, running it along the surface. These guys kind of make bubbles on the surface, make a bunch of commotion, then they come up and eat the swim bait. Some people throw it with or without a swim bait trailer on there. But anyway, there's that little guy. I haven't been to this lake in maybe a month or so. The grass has grown like crazy. I'm way off the bank. You can see the bank over there, but there's the weeds. So it's probably 18 feet deep here, but the weeds are only about 4 feet deep. They've grown all the way almost up to the surface here, so it's really limiting my lure selection having that much weeds to deal with. Got him, guys. Oh, I hope you guys were able to see that. Casted way up into that tree. He blew up on it almost immediately. Good bass, not a giant one, but we'll take him on the frog. All right, we're gonna get him back in there and keep casting here. All right, I think I'm gonna put the frog away for now. Just 2 bites on it, 1 fish landed, but that's all right. We got plenty of other baits here. I kind of just ran out of cover that I wanted to fish with a frog. I kind of ran my way down the west side of this lake where there's a bunch of overhanging trees and whatnot. Although there's vegetation almost all the way up to the surface, it isn't quite all the way up to the surface, so there's not really mats out deeper than just kind of right off the bank that I want to fish the frog in. So I'm gonna throw the Senko just for a minute. I want to just catch 1 fish on it real quick just to kind of confirm that they are up shallow at all. Think I've got a fish on? All the grass in here that I've been pulling the Senko through feels a lot like a small fish. That was kind of tricky. This is a pretty skinny, gaunt fish. Hopefully he can fill out a little bit better. Get him back in there. Alright, so I got the Senko off my bucket list for the morning. Not sure why I really put it on there, but made that happen. Got another tiny bass here. Oh, actually, it's a crappie. What do we think here? This guy's going back. That's one of the main reasons I left that tail spinner tied on there. Actually, I had it tied on last weekend when I was doing some catfishing. We were at a lake that had white bass in there, and I've historically done okay on white bass on this lure, so that's actually why I had it tied on. But I left it tied on because I know there's crappie in this lake, and it seemed about the right size for one of them to chase down. Ooh, just lost a better crappie right there. There's crappie. We'll get him back in there. Another crappie on the little jig. Another kind of medium-sized one. Not bad. Pitch this one up like really close to that tree there. Let him go. Got one on the giant bluegill swimbait, guys. Oh, it feels good. Hopefully we can land him. There's a couple trees in between me and him. All right. Holy cow. Landed him and unlanded him. This guy's freaking out. Oh, that guy tried to freaking kill me. I don't even want to let him go. He just tried to freaking stab my thumb with a hook. But he made it out. Dude, that guy was freaking crazy. All right, so that's my first fish in like almost a couple hours. I've honestly been throwing this for a little while now, maybe an hour and a half. That is my 3rd bite on it. First one I was just not paying attention. It was kind of a subtle bite. I was just kind of not paying attention, daydreaming, whatever, and didn't get a good hook in him. There's another one actually here just maybe 5 minutes ago, gave me a bite, and I was paying attention that time, but he just missed the hook somehow. But that one felt like a pretty good bite. Both of those I think were probably better bites than this one, although as you heard me say, I thought that that one was a good fish until I landed it. So what I'm kind of doing here, guys, I'm giving it like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a quick jerk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reel turns and a jerk. And so what that's doing is my fish is like slowly doing this underwater, and then it's kind of darting off to one side, which is theoretically getting a reaction strike. Another one, guys. This one was up pretty shallow. I think he feels about the same as that last one I caught. In case I forget to say it, at some point, please do like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and it would be helpful if you could share this with a friend. Just helps out the channel. All right. Well, still not catching giant monster bass, but I just freaking love catching any bass on this bait. Another one. Man, that one about freaking tore it out of my hand. It's not that big of a fish though. Another smallish bass here, guys. This is probably the smallest one yet on this bait. Something is I think kind of turned these fish on. It's gotten a little windier in the last 45 minutes or so. There's another kind of side-by-side comparison here, guys. If you think that the baits you're throwing are too big, you are probably wrong. Guys, I just got a fish freaking burning this thing. Wow, that's awesome. I honestly, on that cast, I cast it out, I took a handful of cranks with it, and it felt kind of heavy or weird, you know, like maybe, anyway, it was acting like maybe I had one of the hooks wrapped around the line. And so I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna abort this cast. So I started burning it back to the boat. As I'm burning it back to the boat, this guy just comes up and hammers it. This thing was probably swimming 5 miles an hour, going about as fast as I could freaking reel it. And it was probably about 3 inches deep in the water, just going like that. That guy freaking smoked it. Got one. Man, that guy just freaking drilled it like a freight train. Again, doesn't look like that big of a fish, but man, these guys are hammering it, and it is a blast. What the heck? Is this a catfish? Dude. A catfish on the freaking giant bluegill swimbait, guys. Not even a big catfish. I gotta get my camera out. I'm sending a picture to my brother with this one. The heck is going on here? It's a freaking fat catfish. He's clearly eating well. Eating giant live bluegills apparently to get fat like that. Well, we officially got a multi-species day today. So we got a few crappie earlier, we've had a handful of bass, and now a catfish on the giant bluegill swimbait. What a day, guys. Here we go. Got one on the trash fish. Another smallish bass, it seems like. I'm gonna just ski him in here. Man, what a freaking wretched looking fish. If I've ever seen a post-spawn fish, that is it. Freaking skinny. Oh, he really needed that meal too. Why don't you just get back in there, dude, and go eat something real. Well, that one might be the last one for the day, guys. Spent quite a while throwing that 5-inch trout bait, that Huddleston. Switched over to the trash fish that you can see here. This is another probably about 5-inch bait. It's a little bit more narrow and whatnot and compact. I'm throwing it on a weighted swim bait hook with a screw lock on the front of it. Threw this around for probably 20 or 30 minutes before I got that bite. I am actually going to get out the deep diving crankbait, either like a 6XD or I have a 10XD in there I might use. If I end up catching one on those baits, you'll be the first to hear about it. So wish me luck. If this is the end of the video, then this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.